Room selection is the process in which you, as a returning student, apply for on campus housing for next year. If you apply early and get a space on campus, you will be able to choose your specific room and roommates. There are two parts to room selection. The first is deciding who will live on campus, the second is choosing where you will live. For the past few years, there have been more students wanting to live on campus than spaces available. Even with the new hall opening for next fall, we anticipate more students will want to live in the halls than we have space for. For this reason, we use the application date as a deciding factor for who gets a space on campus.
I live in Mingus Mountain this year, and the Mingus Mountain people were supposed to live on campus, but I really want to live on campus next semester. And therefore I've set my alarm to 11:55, and I've connected my computer to the internet. T-minus 5 minutes.
I'm a sophomore and I live in Hall 9 of the Village Complex. I'm trying to save money next year by living on campus. It's possible to find housing off campus that's cheaper, but this way I don't have to pay for insurance, utilities, or worry about driving to and from campus, and I save money on gas. I really need to live on campus next year, so I'm going to be at my computer ready to fill out the application at noon on January 31st.
In late February, all students that applied for housing will be told if they have a space on campus or will be put on a wait list. Only those students who are confirmed for a space in housing can pick a room, so if you want to live with your friends, make sure they apply early too. Be sure to read the terms and conditions found on the housing website before you apply. Applying and having your deposit on file constitutes a complete contract. You are able to break your contract without reason or penalty before April 1st. If you break your contract between April 1st and May 1st, there is a $200 cancellation fee. After May 1st, the contract is fully executed, meaning you must meet the criteria to break the contract, and there is an $800 cancellation fee.
I kind of want to live on campus, and then I want to live off campus. What should I do?
Be proactive and look for off-campus housing now. Some students think it is easy to find an apartment or house in the local area and then struggle to get a roof over their head. Remember, once you complete your contract with ERAU Housing or sign a lease off campus, you are committed to that space. Know the contract break process and costs. We encourage you to talk to your parents about where you want to live. You may also want to go to the housing fair hosted on January 22nd at noon in the hangar. There will be on and off-campus housing representatives there to explain what they have to offer. Let's review. We will decide who gets into space on campus based on the application date. The earlier you apply, the better your chances of securing on-campus housing.
I am living in TBC now and am required to live on campus. Next year, I would like to also live on campus, so I will be sure to fill out the application as soon as possible at noon, January 24th.
I'm a returning student in my second year here at Embry-Riddle, and I apply for housing on January 31st at noon.
I'm a returning student in my second year at ERAU-Prescott. I applied for housing and I just received my lottery number.
Congratulations! Now you are going to go through the room selection. This is where you will be able to pick your specific room. The lower your number, the earlier you will pick your room. Lottery numbers are assigned based on class standing, with graduate students and seniors getting better numbers than juniors, and so on.
I know I want to live in the new hall, but I heard that it's for freshmen. Can I live in it next year?
As a returning student, you get to pick your room. Next year, returning students will be living in the Village Apartments and Suites, Butte Apartments, and Butte Suites. Apartments typically fill up fast, so those students picking last might not get into an apartment.
That's awesome. I know I want to try and get that new apartment. I have some friends that I want to live with. Can I choose my roommates too?
Yes, as long as your friends also received lottery numbers. You cannot have someone live with you that did not go through room selection or is on the wait list. Also, you need to fill your room or your apartment, meaning if 3 of you want to live together, you need to find a 4th friend so you can fill the apartment. We do this so we can fit in as many roommate requests as possible.
I'm a sophomore and I have a pretty high lottery number, but I have a friend who's a senior. Can we both live together, and when do we get to pick our room?
Yes, as long as you both have lottery numbers and are the same gender, you can choose to live together. In fact, we encourage you to find some friends to live with. Once you know who you want to live with, compare lottery numbers. As a group, you can all use the lowest lottery number to pick your room.
So that I can use my senior friend's lottery number and I get to choose first. And I really want that room on the first floor, on the east, through which I could see the sunrise.
I'm a returning student as well, but I filled out my application pretty late and I'm on the wait list. Can I live with my friend who has a lottery number?
Unfortunately, waitlisted students cannot go through the room selection process until they receive a lottery number. However, if we get a cancellation, we will offer a lottery number to the next person on the wait list, so you may receive one before the day of room selection. Just because you were on the wait list does not mean housing will not be available later.
I mean, I like the roommates that I have now, but they're all moving off campus next year, and my parents really want me to stay on campus. Do you have any idea where I should start looking for roommates for next year?
Great question. I think we should get an RA's take on it.
I would really encourage you to start talking to people now. Ask if they're planning to live on campus next year. Think about what makes a good roommate in your mind. Do you care if the room is a mess, or does everything have to be put away all of the time? Do you stay up until 4 a.m. playing video games? I have seen friendships end because two people thought living together would be great because they were friends. But one woke up early for ROTC, while the other stayed up later working on Space Mech. One played Xbox, and the other dominated at PlayStation. One was Mac, and the other one was PC. The differences can go on and on. They struggled to live together, and unfortunately, the friendship was impacted too. Rather than looking for your next BFF, when looking for a roommate, think about your living style. Find someone that stays up late too, or that is okay with the occasional late night game night with 7 people hanging out in the living room. Think about your current roommates, what makes them good or bad. Use that as a guide for finding the people you want to live with.
Yeah, I have a lottery number, but I'm also looking for a housing off campus. Hold on one second. Hello? Yes, I'd love to live there. Yeah, I'll come sign the lease right away. In an hour? Sure. Cool, thanks. So what do I do now?
If you know you are not going to live on campus next year, you need to break your contract with housing. You are able to break your contract before April 1st with no reason and no penalty. You are able to cancel between April 2nd and May 1st without reason, but there is a $200 cancellation fee. After May 1st, you must meet the requirements in the terms and conditions to break your contract, and there is an $800 fee. Because we have students on the wait list who are in limbo for housing, we do ask that you contact housing as soon as possible to cancel your contract if you know you will not want or need your on-campus room. Do you have more questions about housing for next year? Contact our office at 928-777-3744 or email us at prhouse, PRHOUSE, @erau.edu. You can check out our Facebook page where we will be posting dates and tips on housing selection. Like our page, Embry-Riddle Prescott, Department of Housing and Residence Life.